Two pirates revealed Luffy's series-breaking powers to him during his voyage in the New World. Doflamingo demonstrated to Luffy how to awaken his devil fruit and take it to a whole new level, while Katakuri showed Luffy how to reach levels of haki that no one had previously believed were possible. However, what if the Devil Fruit Master fought the Haki Master? Honestly, the battle between Doflamingo and Katakuri is not likely to be close. But before we decide who prevails, let's review each fighter's equipment and skills, beginning with the individual who controlled Dressrosa. Doflamingo has the power of the string fruit, which allows him to control strings that are sharper than most blades in one piece. Just a regular string from this fruit has torn characters like Smoker and even Sanji to pieces, but it can be enhanced by speeding up the strings. When Doflamingo speeds up his strings, they appear red-hot, just like Sanji's Diablo, and these same strings can sever massive buildings in two as if they were actual sword slashes. However, this isn't the only thing the string fruit can do. Doflamingo can also use shadow clone jutsu, like my boy Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village, to create a clone that can fight like him and hit Luffy from the rear and the real Doffy boxing him from the side. Doflamingo can also use his strengths in entirely different ways. For example, he can control others with a simple tap of his string. Doflamingo used this power to manipulate the entire nation and force them to fight each other throughout the saga. But you would think that this is only applicable to weak characters. However, Doflamingo also controlled Jozu in Marineford. This man was the same one who made an admiral bleed out in agony and stopped Mihawk's sword slash. We also know that Jozu is physically stronger than Mako, because as we recall, Jozu was able to make Kuzan bleed, whereas Mako was unable to do so. In addition, he has the ability to build a birdcage that is unstoppable. It was able to render nearly every citizen of Dressrosa, including a Navy admiral, helpless with its powerful sword-like slashes and country-busting attacks. You might assume that this is where Doflamingo draws a line, but Doflamingo has a final level to his devil fruit, which is his awakening. Doflamingo can use attacks that restrain a Gearforth Luffy, who was previously easily defeated by him. In addition to his awakening and devil fruit, he also has 3 different forms of haki. His observation haki was strong enough to sense nearly every citizen's position in Dressrosa and used his strings to control them. Doflamingo also had Armanent Hoki, and despite its lack of power, he was still able to deflect some of Luffy's blows and break free of Aokiji's grasp when he froze him in order to save Smoker in Punk Hazard. Last but not least, he has Conqueror's Hoki, but not the advanced form. Instead, he has the base form, which is kind of useless because you can only use it to knock out opponents who are far weaker than you are. Before we continue, please make sure to subscribe, as even one subscription can benefit this channel far more than you may realize. Also, if you are enjoying this video so far, please give this video a thumbs up, as this helps push this video into the algorithm. Moving on to the next category, we have Katakuri. Let's get right to it. He has the Mochi Devil Fruit, which works almost exactly like Luffy's Devil Fruit, but better because rather than just requiring 2 arms, Katakuri can make multiple with his mochi. This devil fruit is also awakened and would have suffocated Luffy if he had not eaten his way out of it. However, Katakuri's true strength originates from his hoki, just as Doflamingo Katakuri has all 3 types of haki. Luffy, even after using Gearforth, had little chance against his hoki until the very end, when he was defeated by Big Mom's first commander. Katakuri also has Conqueror's Hoki with the insignificant kind, but Katakuri's strongest form of Hoki would be his Observation Hoki, as he's perfected it to the point where he could see the future. Katakuri used this to effortlessly avoid Luffy's attacks. And even though Katakuri did get hit in the middle of the battle by Luffy, this was only because Katakuri lost focus, which made his future sight not work as well as it typically would. But when Katakuri regained his concentration, he was able to swiftly avoid Gearforth's attack. So both these characters have strong devil fruits and fairly potent hoki, but what would happen if they were to actually combat each other? This fight should be set in a city-like terrain, so both these characters can make the most out of their Devil Fruit awakenings. But even if they were able to make the most out of their Devil Fruits, would either of them be quick enough to land a hit on the other? Or would they be powerful enough to take down the other? Or would they be durable enough to tank the other's attacks? To answer those questions, in order to gauge the true speed and power of these two characters, let's take a look at Dressrosa. When Doflamingo fought Luffy, he occasionally took hits from a base Luffy and was coughing up blood from his blows. But when we look at the entire Cake Island, we can see that a base Luffy was completely defeated by Katakuri. Luffy was too sluggish to land a hit on Katakuri, and was too inadequate to overpower Katakuri, and was unsuccessful to make him cough up blood, and unlike how he did against Doflamingo back in Dressrosa. Katakuri also fought a much more robust Luffy due to Luffy's Hoki Blossoming. And if you don't know what Hoki Blossoming is, it's basically your Hoki and bodily state getting stronger as you battle tougher opponents. So it's quite apparent that Katakuri would completely outclass Doflamingo going off of physical stats alone. But how about if their awakenings were to compete against one another? Well, we recognize that awakenings are essentially a part of the user's body, since Devil Fruit individuals are just an embodiment of their said Devil Fruit, and we learned in Wano that characters with more potent Hoki can resist Devil Fruit powers. So if Katakuri were to turn the environment into mochi, then Doflamingo wouldn't be able to do anything about it, since Katakuri obviously has stronger Hoki and a stronger Devil Fruit than Doflamingo, but Doflamingo has one final trump card at his disposal. If Doflamingo is able to use his birdcage and persevere long enough for it to close in and destroy Katakuri, then he would essentially win, right? Now here is the dilemma. Many would say since Fujitora couldn't destroy Birdcage, then Katakuri for sure wouldn't stand a chance against it due to the fact that admirals scale much higher than first commanders of Yonkou. Using that logic, it would be safe to assume that Katakuri can't get through Birdcage. Now others may say Fujitora wasn't trying, and he was thinking about the safety of the civilians, but for the sake of the argument, we will say that Katakuri can't destroy it. Doflamingo's incredible strength may allow him to withstand Katakuri's rampage, as demonstrated by his ability to repel Law and tank Luffy's Gear 4th punches that sent him flying across the island multiple times. However, Doflamingo can also somewhat heal himself by rearranging his organs, so this may also be helpful to outlast Katakuri's barrage in time for his birdcage to close in. But unfortunately, even if Doflamingo survives Katakuri's attacks, it won't matter because Katakuri could still overwhelm him with his awakening and drown him in his mochi. Doflamingo wouldn't be able to get out of this because he doesn't have the same appetite or character as Luffy, so he couldn't eat himself out of the mochi. Nor would he be able to turn the mochi into string, since Doflamingo's Devil Fruit powers and Hoki isn't nearly as powerful as Katakuri's. Therefore, even if we give Doflamingo the benefit of the doubt and say he can survive Katakuri's attack, it won't matter because he'll still suffocate, lose his birdcage, and ultimately get beat by Big Mom's pirate second son. That will conclude the battle between Doflamingo and Katakuri. If you found this video informative, interesting, entertaining, or all the above, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Comment down below your thoughts and be sure to check out my previous video on all of Luffy's gear progression, which is right here. Until next time, this is Anime ENT signing off. Peace!